What's Goodington family? We are here again with another episode of Panther Vision. I'm a couple days late on these, bro. I've been busy, bro, putting in offers, negotiating, do all kind of stuff. Hey, yo, if you need a home and you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, or the surrounding areas, holler at me, bro. I don't really just do Charlotte. I really do most of North Carolina, bro. Let me know. But yeah, we about to go ahead and get into the latest Carolina Panther video. Let me go ahead and put myself down here in the corner. As y'all can see, I've been watching my cricket shares. But yeah, Panther Vision. We got two interviews with Jaelan Phillips and Devin Lloyd. We need to go ahead and get into. Let's see what they're
Anish
talking about.
Shroff here with Jaelan Phillips, one of the newest Panthers. Let's give the Panther fans a chance to get to know you a little bit.
Anish.
So you've had a interesting journey.
Hey, Jaelan big as hell, ain't he? Boy, god damn, boy. Jaelan, boy, god damn, that's a big ass boy. Boy, I ain't realize that man was that big, boy. God damn.
Yeah. Number one player in high school.
God
what
damn.
drew you initially to UCLA?
I grew up in Bruin, so my dad went to UCLA, my aunt went to UCLA, grandfather taught at UCLA, so it was just in my nature, and being a SoCal kid, thought it'd be really cool to be close to home. Love the coaching staff there. I remember my dad used to take me to UCLA when I was probably 5 years old, so it was just very nostalgic to me, and yeah, it drew me towards it. We had an exciting class brewing. Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your experience there?
I mean, it was just like a lot of other experiences I've had, up and down. Some great moments, some low moments, but overall, I can't. I think of UCLA very fondly. Like I still, to this day, I just want to go back to campus. It's like I said, it's nostalgic for me. That was like my childhood. So, but yeah, I mean, it went from coming in, like you said, for a number one player in the nation. Had a couple injuries, and then coming to my sophomore year, coaching change, got hit by a car, a bunch of things happening.
What the
fuck? But ultimately, kind of segue into it.
This nigga just casually sped by getting hit by a car. I ain't never been hit by a car. You have been hit by a car? Let me know in the comments. You have been hit by a car? Yeah, damn.
What I think we're gonna talk about anyways, it was able to give me a chance to kind of find my passion in music and get into that when I was injured dealing with this. So, like I said, blessing in disguise.
I want to get to the music in a moment, but you mentioned the car accident.
Yeah, rapping?
Mm-hmm.
When that happened, there were consequences and repercussions in terms of your football career.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people what you went through in the aftermath.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3 surgeries on my wrist. I had 3 bones taken out of my wrist. It's called the proximal rail carpectomy. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only player in NFL history to have a proximal rail carpectomy. I know some guys have had fusions for the wrist where they fuse the bones together.
You could still see the scar.
Indeed, you can. There's 2 scars. You can see on this side too. But yeah, so that was tough. Coming back from that, like I said, it was right after my freshman year, which was kind of tumultuous in itself, and then new coaching staff. So I was really trying to prove myself, and then that happened. So that, kind of put me in a really rough place. That was the first time I experienced like the alienation that comes from injury. So that was very tough. And then ultimately, I had to get surgery again when I got to the U after I retired and came back. But yeah, so that was a tough one, but it feels great now. So
when you hear the words medically disqualified, right,
Mm-hmm.
that puts a picture in people's head. How did you process that?
I mean, at the time, I was kind of going through some personal things as well.
Wait, so he was actually like,
I kind of attributed a lot of my
literally
struggles
told
to
he wasn't supposed to play
because,
again?
frankly, that was kind of the crux of like a lot of the issues, like the injuries, coaching change, all those things. And so ultimately, I was kind of relieved actually at the time. I think that, like I said, I had already gotten into music at the time, and so I was pouring myself into that, and kind of the juxtaposition of how passionate I was about music and how depressed I was about football. I kind of felt like, man, why? Like, is this really for me? Is this my journey? Is this what I'm meant to do? So when I was medically disqualified, I went full in on music. I went to music school. Was producing, engineering, working at a studio, engineering for iHeartRadio. I was going full time with that.
On that side,
There's something in me just, I wasn't ready to give up the game. So,
what did music represent in your journey?
Outlet.
I mean, for me, it was just cathartic. I mean, it allowed me, it gave me an outlet for a lot of the struggles I was going through. It made me passionate about something. It kind of expanded my worldview outside of football. I think up until then, my whole identity and And basically my whole life was about football.
Biracial
and so
kid,
kind of
not
gave me
knowing
an
what the fuck
opportunity
going on.
Be something else.
To be something else,
Football,
exactly.
I'm gonna go rap,
I think that's massively important, even for guys playing in the league now. It's like, you see so many guys struggle with life after football, and frankly, like for me, to be able to have that experience in college, it kind of just set me up so well for my future. Like even at this point now in my life, where football is obviously my job, it's obviously my passion is what I do, but it doesn't define me. And I'm able to kind of have different outlets and hobbies and stuff outside of football, so that whenever my playing days are over, hopefully the transition will be a little more graceful.
And from what I understand, music has family ties for you. So what's the origin story with music in your family?
So my grandfather he went to Juilliard when he was young, I think like 14 or something like that, and conducted his first symphony when he was 16 in New York. I want to say like Carnegie Hall. I got to get better on it. But he's legit. I mean, you can look him up, Jan Robertson, spelled with a J, J-O-N. But he's a world-renowned pianist and symphony conductor. He just retired, actually. He was conducting at Lynn University in Boca Raton. But yeah, so I mean, grew up with, the maestro is what we call him, because he literally is.
Your grandfather was the maestro?
Yes, he was indeed. And so my dad and my mom both played in the symphony. My mom was a cellist, and my dad was a trumpet player, trumpet major at UCLA. That's how they met. Cool, funny enough. And so then my sister and I played instruments growing up.
What did you play?
Played piano, like classically trained in the piano, and then when I got to middle school, I wanted to play guitar because I was a little cooler, a little flashier.
I had to pause. That's a big ass piano player. Those of y'all who do not know, a person who plays the piano is called a pianist. All right.
So did that in high school, and then ever since then, I produce. So I kind of dabble with instruments, being able to, play them functionally for making music. But I'm not like a rock star by any means. Yeah.
So classically trained pianist.
The guitar.
What are some classical tunes that people may know that you can
even
play?
the niche
pianist?
about fucked up.
Like a rock star by any means. Yeah.
So classically trained pianist. What are some classical tunes that people may know that you can play well?
Oh man, nothing at this point in my life. Back in the day, I was rocking some Beethoven, some concertos, and a little Bach maybe.
But he was a big ass piano player,
or a musical genre, musical movement that you feel kind of encompasses your story.
That's an interesting question. Nobody's ever asked me that.
Screamo.
Encompasses my story. Well, I mean, I guess you could say like something that's kind of.
That's a good ass question.
I don't even know, but I got to think on that more. I don't want to give an answer to that without. I was gonna say something like, I don't know, like Motown or something, to where it kind of like defied odds and came in a time and was like groundbreaking. I'm not to say my story is all groundbreaking. I'm not trying to hype myself up, but just in the sense of like, being able to have an impact and like I said, kind of coming in a time where that might not have been the most popular thing going on, and growing through that.
Motown.
That's a cool question though.
You have Trayvon Merritt who plays the guitar, playing on the back end of the defense. Is there any chance we get a training camp jam session?
Probably not. We're at the facility for like 13 hours a day.
Okay.
So unless he brings his guitar and I bring my guitar or piano, maybe we can set something up. But,
that would be fun. When you've had
light-skinned niggas on my defense, so hold on.
What almost was a career-ending injury, you find music, you go to Miami, and then you hear your name called in the NFL draft as a first-round pick. What was that moment like, given all that you had been through?
I know he went through that.
It was incredible, but it was
crazy.
Like there was joy to it, but it also, I knew this was just the beginning. So it's not like it was this, moment where, I've made it, everything is great now. Like, there's also pressure that comes with that, and so for me, it was all just kind of a whirlwind. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it, just given everything that I'd been through, the fact that, just a year and a half prior, basically, I was retired from football, and then, was fortunate enough to play at the U and get my body back. And
if y'all watched Real Bros of Simi Valley, he talked just like the main nigga, the main character from Real Bros of Simi Valley. And that shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Them Cali niggas all got that same accent, bro. This shit is fucking funny.
And, played well to a point where, like, when I came into my senior year at the U, I was just happy to be there, and would have been happy with any
That's what he reminded me
round
of.
draft pick getting picked up, whatever the case
I've been
is.
trying to figure out
to go, got my confidence
what it's
back,
been.
started, hearing my name in talks as first round and stuff like that. I couldn't believe it, and still to this day, I mean, when I look back.
For those of y'all who don't know, I gotta pull it. I gotta do it. For those who don't know, cause this shit it's the same exact shit, bro. Hold on. Real, what the fuck, bro? Real bros of Simi Valley. Xander. That's who the fuck this nigga sound like, bro. This nigga sound like Xander. Hey, I was gonna watch this shit, bro. This shit's fucking hilarious. Hold on. This is what he remind me of. This nigga right here. Fucking Xander.
My truck, all the dopest Mexican spots. Fun fact, Simi Valley has the best Mexican food in the world, including Mexico.
Back of my story, man, it's just I'm just so blessed to be here, and just thank God for everything I've been through.
He just a more put together version of this nigga, bro.
Learned a bunch about cars, which is dope because it helped me make my ride look fucking sweet. I pretty much built that thing from the ground up.
But yeah.
Bro,
couple more things,
bro.
When you get to the Panthers,
bro, them Cali
to
niggas,
be in this defense,
bro.
and they talked all
really out here
offseason,
trying to
they
play
needed a
ball,
pass
you know.
rusher, and they went and got
That's
you.
a good question, yo.
What
Never had
do
a
you
question like
feel
that before, bro.
makes you a good fit?
You gotta ask some
the
bros
way
in there
this
for me.
defense is structured.
Well, the way the defense is structured, like, I think that we have a lot of great pieces all around, and I think, more put aside like the way the defense is structured schematically, I think
he's
the
a
kind
bro,
of character
100%.
that we have on the team, the effort that the guys play with, the drive and tenacity, and just the identity that we're building. And I think I fit into that really well. I'm a guy who's passionate, and I play balls for the wall. And I think when you look at everybody at all positions on the defense, everybody is very like-minded when it comes to that. So I'm excited for that.
It's a team that's trending up. That
I just know,
parallels your arc, doesn't it?
He got the guardrails on because he's in the interview.
Jaelan Phillips, appreciate it, Jaelan. Thank you.
I know for a fact when Jaelan not in them interviews, he talked.
Like when my parents first bought it for me, it came like with like the tints, and like it was already lifted and had like the rims and like.
I know he talked to him like, bro. I know it, bro. Oh man. Hey, but now it's time to get to my green dot. It's time to get to my green dot right here, boy. It's a lot of light skins. It's a lot of light skin on my defense. You know what I'm saying? As a platinum member of the Dark Skin Black Male Association, anytime we get a dark skinned black male around, you know what I'm saying? I gotta highlight them, and that's why I go so hard for my guy EE. Y'all be trying to kick out Xavier, not understanding that he is the key. And we getting him some demons. Now we got my dark skinned brother, Devin Lloyd, my green dot in the building.
One of the newest Panthers, free agent acquisition from the Jaguars, Devin Lloyd. Let's start with your background. Let's go way back. Both parents were in the Navy. What was that like growing up for Devin Lloyd?
Yeah, so, living with my mom up until I was 12.
Mama Lloyd.
It was honestly, it was really good. I went to, like I said, I was living with my mom first 12 years, went to go live with my dad past that. And, military background. So, of course, they're, a little more strict than most parents, I guess you could say, just making sure everything was, clean and in order. But, taught me a lot about discipline. But, yeah, definitely grateful for my parents and, obviously the values and everything that they instilled in me.
What were some of those values and the discipline things that you talked about that they instilled in you at a young age?
Yeah, I can put it in examples of, like, me growing up. So, like, when I was a teenager, I went to live with my dad, and he would be on deployment. It was just us two. I would ride my bike. It's a mile and a half away from school.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine growing up
never
with
miss
parents,
school.
like,
because
on deployment.
I was too scared to hear what my dad would say if he got a call from my my teacher saying like, oh, I missed class or whatever.
I understand that though.
But just, discipline of waking up early in the morning and riding your bike to school every day, or, whenever your parents are home, waking up on your own to cut the grass on Saturday morning, early in the morning, instead of sleeping in, just making sure, everything around the house is clean without them getting on you.
Well, I know his parents ran a
you put
tight
it into
real
life
he just looked like his
situations.
parents ran a tight ship.
Doing the right thing. And if you don't, you're going to hear about it. So.
Were you guys on military time?
No. Nah, yeah, it wasn't that crucial. But, there were some things you felt as far as like bringing the military home.
When you got older, when did you start to kind of appreciate, that sort of structure growing up?
You definitely notice it, after you leave the house.
In college?
And you kind of notice, when you're in college and you see some people and,
like, I'm glad I'm not
for
built
example,
like that guy.
keeping the dorms clean, or just how you operate and on a day-to-day basis as far as like being regimented and, following routine and stuff like that. You start to notice it a little bit.
First time, like,
so, as that time progressed and I got older and I really, found myself a little bit more, you realize like, okay, like this comes from my parents. Like, oh, this is, this is definitely, good to see the part of it that was tough growing up translating to something good.
Yep.
The NFL does a lot with the military and with veterans. When you see that, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I think it's great.
Softball question.
People that serve for this country.
Softball question, Anish. Come on, bro.
Peace of mind.
Step it up.
Knowing that we're protected with all the stuff that's going on. Most people are oblivious to, so they deserve all the support, especially with the NFL being as big as it is and important as it is in the United States. It's great that we support them.
And I understand you do a lot with Wounded Warriors.
Yeah.
Bro, we gonna keep us around the military the whole time, bro.
So
Come on, let's get into like who he is outside the
military.
military.
Yeah, same reason, just coming from
he
military.
not in the military.
You think about the people that
Come on, bro. Let me learn more about Devin.
All the
my
projects
green
that I've
dot right
done
here,
with
bro. I'm trying to learn about that
you kind
brain.
of get to know them as
Like, that's
people,
cool,
these veterans as people, understanding that we all go through the same thing. They're just, in the military, I play professional football, but just understanding
Devin.
like,
talk about this green
hey,
dot.
even though I'm in the NFL, I see you, understand you, in the same way that you follow us. So trying to be as supportive as I can and knowing that
that's good.
The military is like instilled in me. So,
but I want to learn more about that.
Your journey as a football player. So you used to be a safety, and then you kind of transitioned in college to a linebacker.
I didn't know he was a safety.
Walk us through that.
That makes sense why he played like that.
Yeah, played wide receiver.
And why he got hands.
And even going back to when I first started playing football, was 8th grade, played 8 on 8. Eventually played 11 on for the first time in high school, played wide receiver exclusively all the way up until my senior year in high school. And we were running, I formation, pro-style offense, throwing the ball, 12, 15 times a game. So wasn't getting the targets like I wanted, and I knew I had to make a transition. So I was somewhere around halfway through my senior year, I was playing both sides for the first time my senior year. I was like, okay, let me transition more to wanting to be recruited as a safety after having some success the first couple days or first couple games my senior year. So I was playing free safety my senior year, first time on defense, and did well, but it wasn't a big time recruit. It was really late in the recruiting process where I got offers from Utah, Boise State. It really came down to those two, and both of them were at linebacker.
What was your reaction? You walk into the stadium and got a couple of Utah guys up in that Hall of Honor, Jordan
receiver,
Gross and Steve Smith Sr.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was aware of it before, obviously, just them being some Utah legends and following their career and just, following up on my history with the Carolina Panthers. So it's really cool. There's a tradition of Utah youths coming in having success, and then linebackers coming in having success in this organization.
Yeah, the linebacker piece. That's the marquee position in the history of this franchise.
Damn right.
So you walk in as an inside linebacker. There's Dan Morgan and Luke Kuechly and Sam Mills and Michael Barrow. What does that tradition mean?
And John Beeson.
Yeah, you just you
take don't forget Shaq.
Playing for an organization that has had such great history at the off-ball linebacker, and you want to continue to
why DB ever got that? Why is DB here? Boy, every time, boy, DB gonna be in, boy, DB gonna be in the camera.
Backer, and you want to continue to carry that and make sure it's headed down the right direction. I think it's awesome. You know, I think everything that I've heard
He is
about
assistant linebackers now, though.
In this organization,
So that makes sense why he's back there.
Great people, and then obviously they're on the field, they were studs, and so that's something that I aspire to be as well. Something that I know I got to earn
You in the
every
right
day.
camp.
But definitely really cool to have that
You in the
history
right camp.
and just looking forward to the future.
You got to
Have
be
you
here
had
for
a
a long
chance
time.
to connect with a Thomas Davis or a Luke Kuechly?
I've talked to TD. He's been in the locker room.
Better have.
You know, he's floated through.
Better have.
He was at practice last week as well.
Boy,
and
TD
then,
always be fresh, be
Luke
shining on him.
floated through the locker room as well. I actually, you know, crazy enough, my an agency that was recruiting me had Luke Kuechly as a client, and so coming out of the draft, you know, they put me on the phone with him. And so we had like an hour-long conversation.
That makes sense why he here.
Super cool. I mean, just really helpful.
Agent
just kind of giving me free game, you know
what I'm saying?
what to expect coming into the NFL. So, you know, that was, you know, full circle moment now, knowing that playing for an organization that he played for. So it's pretty cool. I can't wait to connect with him more.
Couple more things. One, this defense. What attracted you to this defense and the style that Coach Avero plays?
Yeah, I mean, we got really good pieces. Obviously, you know, we got a ton of ballers on the team. I could name them all, but we got a lot of really talented players, and so looking forward to playing with them. And then, I mean, you look at the scheme, you know, 5 down front, so you know that's nice to play. And I didn't really play in that as much last year or the last couple of years, really. But just in general, just the opportunity to come in and you know, play my game and not worry about anything that I can't control and just go out and have fun.
Is there something about being a part of an organization that seems poised to kind of take that next step and is on the ascent?
His answer, his first interview was way better.
That's what it's about, you know, being able to be a real contender, you know, and really just come into working and not feel like work, you know, just come in every day, have fun, and eventually, you know, you stack enough great days, you have the success that you want to have in season and postseason. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and it's definitely been that, and you know, looking forward to just keep building on that.
We all are. Devin Lloyd, thank you.
Yep,
Appreciate
it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, check this out. We going bowling, all right? We going bowling. And I don't really care what nobody talking about. We going bowling this season. We going bowling. Yeah. I don't care about the Rams getting motherfucking Aaron Donald back with Myles Garrett. They did all that shit just to motherfucking stop Bryce, nigga. We going bowling. But check this out. I'll be back next time. The Panthers drop some more content. I'll see y'all next time, all right?